Everything you're about to hear, the witch mother, the frozen father, the pact with a devil, Dr. Doom told it himself, in his own words, sitting on his throne, walking a journalist through the worst days of his life. There's just one problem. By the end of it, we find out the man telling the story wasn't even a man. He wasn't even alive. So this is the origin of Dr. Doom, the real one, straight off the page. And the biggest twist in it is who's doing the talking. Victor von Doom is born to a Romani clan in Latveria, a tiny, poor country in Eastern Europe, run by a cruel baron whose soldiers hunt Victor's people for sport. His mother, Cynthia, is a witch. Not a fairy tale witch, a desperate one. She looks at how her family lives, hunted and starving, and she decides power is the only way out. So she makes a deal with a demon. And for one night, it works. The demon's power lets her tear through the baron's soldiers. But a demon always sends a bill. The price for that one night of vengeance was the life of every child in the nearby village. Every single one. The villagers hunt her down and kill her for it. Victor is barely 4 years old. And this is the moment that defines him. Before he can even read, his mother's soul has been dragged into hell. And he knows it. For a while, life is almost good. Victor has one real friend, a girl named Valeria. And at 11 years old, the only thing he wants from the world is to grow up and marry her. Hold on to her. She matters later. Then, Victor's father, Werner, the clan's healer, is ordered to cure the Baron's dying wife. She's already riddled with cancer. No one could save her. But when she dies, the Baron blames Werner and sends men to kill him. Werner and his son run into the mountains. 4 days, no food, freezing. And on the last night, Werner takes off his own coat and wraps it around his boy. Victor wakes up the next morning, and he can't move. His father's arms have frozen solid around him. Werner gave his son his coat, held him through the night, and quietly froze to death doing it. Victor has to lie there, locked in a dead man's grip, until the clan finds him. Here's the thing about grief in this story. It doesn't make Victor soft. It makes him cold. Even as a small child, standing over his mother's grave while the clan blames his family, he tells them, "Cast us out, and I will grow up to be exactly like her and hunt every one of you down." A 4-year-old says this, and they believe him. As a teenager, he finds his mother's spell books and realizes he inherited her gift. He teaches himself magic, then science. By 16, he's leading the whole clan, a genius no one his age can touch. And he has one obsession that will run the rest of his life. He is going to break into hell and drag his mother's soul back out. One night, a soldier corners him. Victor strangles the man with his bare hands, his first kill, and then runs into the woods, shaking, crying, thinking one thing: now I truly am my mother's son. His genius becomes legend, and an American general comes all the way to Latveria to recruit him. Victor takes the deal, not for the money, just to get out. In America, he's enrolled at a university, secretly building weapons for the military on the side. And there, he meets a young science student named Reed Richards. Reed is everything Victor isn't: open, curious, wanting to collaborate. Victor despises him for it. Remember Reed too. This is also where the comic refuses to let you root for him. Drunk at a party for the first time, Victor kisses a girl, sees emptiness in her eyes instead of his mother or Valeria, and tries to strangle her. He only stops when his mother's memory surfaces. His military backers bury the whole thing. This is who we're dealing with. Everything, the science, the weapons, all of it, is really just Victor building a door a machine that fuses magic and technology to punch a hole into the realm where his mother is trapped. And it works. For a few seconds, his mind actually crosses over. He finds his mother, screaming in fire, and then the demon holding her turns, calls him a filthy little morsel, and throws him out. The machine explodes. And here's what most people get wrong about Doom's scar. It's not vanity. In this telling, the blast disfigures his face. But worse, he can still feel the demon's claws under the burns. The scars aren't a wound. They're the mark of the thing that beat him. That's why he can never look at himself again. Victor flees across Europe, hunted by the KGB, tormented every night by dreams of his mother in hell. He's a broken man, hiding a bandaged face. And then Valeria finds him, his first friend, the one person who knew him before all this. She doesn't look away from his scars. She nurses them. For a few weeks, he's almost human again. She begs him to come home to Latveria with her, and he almost says yes. But an old beggar Victor once dismissed reveals himself to be a monk with real magic and dies, telling Victor a prophecy. High in the mountains of Tibet, there's a temple of masters who fuse magic and science, and Victor is destined to surpass them all. And Victor chooses the prophecy. He turns his back on Valeria, again, and walks toward his destiny alone. That's the tragedy of Doom in one image. The door to a normal life is standing open, and he walks past it every single time. He nearly dies on the mountain. Starvation, a yeti, the cold that killed his father. The monks find him, heal him, and teach him. Within 5 years, he's beyond them. They bow and call him master. Then he builds a machine to watch the whole world at once, and he sees two things that light the fuse. 1. Latveria now has a new king, Vladimir, the same baron who killed his parents. 2. Reed Richards is famous now, celebrated as maybe the smartest man alive. Victor decides, with zero evidence, that Reed sabotaged his machine and caused the accident. From that day, he orders the monks to call him one thing: Dr. Doom. He forges a suit of armor, part technology, part spell, designed to seal the demon out of his dreams and to seal every human feeling in. And then the mask. Cold iron. Locked over a face no one will ever see again. In his words, never again will mortal eyes gaze upon Victor Von Doom. From this moment, there is only what I have become. Doom goes home to take Latveria. Soldiers empty their rifles into him. The armor eats the bullets, and he laughs. He raises his old clan as an army and starts a revolution. But watch what he's become. When an old clansman, a man who played fiddle at his parents' wedding, questions him, Doom kills him on the spot without blinking. And when Valeria shows up and tells him the truth, that the armor is just a wall, that he's hiding from his mother's ghost, that he doesn't have power, he just has better walls. He can't even look at her. He has her carried out of the country. He tells himself it's to protect her. We know better. Then he walks into the castle of King Vladimir, the baron who started all of this, reminds him exactly whose parents he killed, and executes him on his own throne. He wins. He's crowned king. He drags Latveria into the modern world almost overnight. By every measure, Victor Von Doom got everything he ever fought for. And it means nothing, because his mother is still in hell. So every year, when the storms come, the king of Latveria goes down to his deepest dungeon and summons the demon to bargain for his mother's soul. And the demon offers him a deal that is pure poison. Once a year, you may fight me for her. Every year you lose, your people will hate you a little more, until you're the most hated man in the country. And even if you win, her soul goes somewhere you can never follow. So either way, I keep her from you." Doom accepts. Of course he accepts. He'll spend the rest of his life losing a fight he can't win, for a mother he can't save. And he'd rather do that forever than admit he can't. Now, remember the hook. This entire life story, Doom has been telling it out loud to a journalist with a camera. And when she asks him to take off the mask, he agrees. And under the mask, there's no scarred man. There's a machine, wires and metal. Because the Victor Von Doom who told us his whole heartbreaking life, the witch mother, the frozen father, the demon, was a Doombot. A robot the real Doom built and programmed with his own memories, so perfectly that it believes it is him. It even ruled Latveria while the real Doom was away. So is the story true? Doom's loyal servant Boris says yes. These are the master's own words in his own voice poured into the machine. But here's the last knife. The journalist thinks she got the story of a lifetime. Instead, Boris locks her in the dungeon forever. Because everyone who learns too much about Dr. Doom is never meant to leave. She never publishes a word. That's the genius of it. Doom controls his own legend so completely that even the story of his soul is told by a machine he built, and anyone who might tell it differently is buried under his castle. So who is Dr. Doom, really? He's not a man who wants to watch the world burn. He's a boy who lost his mother to a devil and his father to the cold, and decided the entire universe is broken, and that he is the only one smart enough, strong enough, worthy enough to fix it. He's not a villain in his own head. He's the only hero. That is what makes him the most dangerous man in Marvel. And it's exactly the man Robert Downey Jr. is about to bring to the screen in Avengers Doomsday. If this made Doom make a little too much sense to you, subscribe. We're covering every corner of him before that movie drops. Because there's one question this origin never answers. If Doom really is the smartest man alive, why does he lose to Reed Richards every time? That's next.